Hello. Welcome to Nikki Nights. I was having a minute trying to get my computer started, but we're up and running. How are you all? I hope you're well. I'm still here in LA. Yep. Blonde hair and all for this new movie role. I'm having so much fun, you guys. I love being back on set. It's magical. It just feels right. Sometimes there's just some things in life that just feel right and you just feel at home. And it's like, I could be in the middle of anywhere, but if there is a set, I feel at home. So it's been really, really nice to get back and film some fun stuff. I hope you're all doing well. I'm sure you're all prepping for the holidays, aren't you? Yeah, I bought a few gifts, not too much, but I've definitely taken care of, the really, 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 really super important people in my world because, it's a crazy time right now. But yeah, you can still wish people a happy holiday and send them something. I always say the best gift to send anybody that you can't get, any COVID or anything from is a cameo. I'm not trying to plug it, but honestly, it's the truth. You can't, it's a great thing to do. But you know what? I'm excited because I get to chat with somebody today who I know she's going to make me feel right at home. Amanda Bertoncini is here, and we are going to chat about, Long Island. Yeah, we're both from Long Island. She was on a show. We're going to talk about the Long Island Princesses on Bravo. We're going to talk about all things Amanda Bertoncini. So let's bring her in. There you are. I was just singing your first name because it's so fun. I was just like, Amanda Bertoncini. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. You can do my calls. So
I'll
do that
yeah.
every time.
I'll do your voicemail. It'll be great.
What's up, Great Neck?
Honestly, what's up? So what part of Long Island are you from?
So I'm from Great Neck, and I have to say, I remember when I was in high school, and my sister and brother are younger than me, and my mom and dad were like, Amanda, you gotta take your brother and sister to Cold Stone Creamery. They're like, Nikki Nights gonna be there. And it was the biggest thing that hit our town. And it's just so crazy that I'm talking to you, and I just remember that. And it was just such a good memory of just such good times in Great Neck and Cold Stone and Middle Neck Road. Yeah. And I can only imagine what that time was like for you going through that.
I'll tell you, Great Neck for me was the best place in the world to grow up. I had such an amazing childhood there. I miss it. Every time I'm in LA right now, and it's I just want to walk down Middle Neck Road and get a bagel and a nice coffee, a piece of pizza from Gino's. This is what I'm craving. Yeah, Cold Stone for me was Cold Stone was the place that changed everything. I found out I got the park there. It was wild. So
while you were there?
While I was at the store, yeah, they came and they did a behind the scenes with each of the 4 final girls. So for me, they said, we want to come to Cold Stone, your natural habitat, and film you. I'm like, my natural habitat? What am I, who am I? Am I a chipmunk, at the zoo or something? Do they even have chipmunks at the zoo? I don't know. But yeah, so they came and they filmed me there. And yeah, I found out I got the part there, and it's been a journey ever since. But I remember going back to Cold Stone for that signing, and
it was crazy. I remember it was just so great for Great Neck. And I was actually talking about this with a friend, and we were saying how many amazing people did come out of Great Neck, which is pretty cool.
And we have Sarah Hughes, who I remember in high school, Sarah, for anybody who, has been living under a rock, won the Olympic gold medal for figure skating. She is absolutely incredible. So I remember growing up, going to the local skating rink. Do you remember, did you go to Parkwood growing up?
Okay, so I went to Parkwood. I was an ice skater, and I ice skated with Sarah Hughes. And Sarah Hughes talked my sister off the ice because she was messing up during one of our yearly performances. And I'll never miss. I was like, Taylor, Sarah Hughes took you off the ice. I was like, she's like, don't even skate.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'll tell you a funny story. I traded something with Emily Hughes. She called me one time and she was like, hey, I'm coming up to Canada. Yeah, this is when I was filming Hairspray. And Emily, her younger sister, has been in the Olympics as well. And she said, I'm coming up to Canada. I said, well, come by the set of Hairspray, but only if you bring me to like a figure skating event. I was like, I have to meet like Brian Boitano or something. So yeah, we traded and it was great.
Oh, that's so nice. That's so nice of her. I remember there was a huge parade when she won the Olympic medal. It was, and I was skating with my dad, like on Middle Neck Road.
I sang at her parade.
You did?
There's a picture. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I gotta find it.
I have to find it. There's a picture of me in like this red jacket and my little Sarah Hughes beret. Like, remember when they gave out like little hats when she won? And I remember like going up to her car and like singing during the parade. Oh my gosh. Childhood memories.
What did you sing? Do you remember?
Yes, it was this song called I See You and Me. And it's about like somebody following your dreams and like, you know, a girl following her dreams. And a couple of years later, I guess, you know, I followed.
That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah. So what else were you into growing up? Like, were you into sports? What else did you do in Great Neck?
Not sports. I went to South. I was a cheerleader there. I tried out for like lacrosse and it was crazy. I knew I wasn't good at sports. So I did cheerleading and that was my thing in high school. And, you know, we were the Rebels. You guys were the Blazers. And we always like, you know, hung out together. Did you have, what was it called? The thing, first of all, I did fashion show. Did you ever go to fashion show?
Oh my God, you're seriously bringing me back.
Are you dead right now?
I always wanted, I'll tell you, I always wanted to be a part of fashion show and I was never a part of it. I was always like that weird outcast girl that like was never a part of it.
It was so weird. It was like just a moment for everyone to like walk to their favorite song and it wasn't nothing else. And like the same stores were on repetition. I remember the big Amanda's wearing Bang Bang. And I thought I was the coolest kid out, you know? It's crazy.
So what did you do after? So you graduated South.
Yes. I went to school in Florida for 1.5 years. I was a private school. It was way too much fun. So I came back to New York. I graduated from Hunter. And then I lived in this city for a long time until I moved back home to Great Neck in like 2013. And that's when Bravo found out about the show Princesses Long Island and they casted us, which was really crazy. And I just never thought anything was like gonna come from that at all. I thought it was just gonna be like a 1-episode wonder. And it just became this whole thing that I never thought. And it was pretty big for Great Neck, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. Everything just happened really fast, but for that show, it was a really big thing for Long Island because we never really were on the map like that before.
Totally. And had you been a reality TV lover before, or was this something that like, do you love it even more now, or are you like, no?
I know, right? It's like, well, I actually really liked Real Housewives of New Jersey. I just loved them. And I was working for the fashion industry before I was on the show. And it was for this denim line. And I figured it out pretty early on. Like, put the jeans on the Bravo Celebrity and you'll get press. So I ended up selling that jean line to Kim D, who is notorious on Real Housewives of New Jersey. I got into that infamous fashion show. And I just remember like going to the fashion show and saying to myself like, wow, I can't believe I got them on these Bravo Celebrities. And then a year later, I had my own show. So it was really crazy how that all happened.
You took like South's fashion show and just brought it to another level, because when you do Kim D's fashion show, let me just tell you, anybody who's not watching or listening to this, like the New Jersey Housewives, Kim D has this fashion show, and if you're a part of it, holy moly, get ready. I mean, that's where all the drama surrounds this fashion show every year. So the fact that you were there, not a lot gets me, but when you said Kim D's fashion show, did you see my eyebrows? They were like, ooh. Yeah. I was like, what?
Are you going to know about it? Because you either know or you just don't know.
Yeah.
Shows in New Jersey. So I mean, this was pretty big, and it was the one where Melissa Gorga made her debut. So the fight went down like the year or two before, and I knew it was a great place to be for marketing. So I made sure to get them in the fashion show. And I remember Melissa Gorga made her big debut that night on the stage in this feather dress, and it was crazy. It was awesome, and I loved it. And I just never thought it would happen to me. I was on the other side of it.
Yeah, can we talk about fashion for a second? Like, because fashion for me has always been tricky. Being a plus size girl, it's like either there's like, I found myself growing up like going to certain stores and like, so it was tricky for me, but for you, passion seems like a serious passion. Fashion seems like a
Yeah.
serious passion. For me, I was just like trying to find the cool clothes. When did fashion become a passion for you?
You know, since I was born, honestly, it was just one of those things. My mom was always dressing me up. We were always matching in some way. I was matching my sister in a way. And I always had a bow in my hair. And I was very girly growing up, just very girly. And I always loved it. But at the same time, growing up in Great Neck, everyone kind of wears the same thing. Everyone was wearing hardtail and juicy with their Kate Spade bags and this and that. And I grew up in Queens up until I was 7, and not that it was like, all right, I grew up in Queens, but it did set me apart in a way because I didn't follow the lead. I didn't follow other people. I just always had my own style, and I always put it together in a really cool way that was like affordable and just really cool and looked really expensive. And I just always went about life like that. And till this day, I mean, I'll have like such a beautiful dress that could be literally $80. You would never know. And I'm just really about that life. So I always had my own way growing up, and I even started my own fashion line for drinks when I was 23. I patented my own company called the Drink Hanky.
That's incredible. I mean, growing up, I feel like growing up, especially in Great Neck, and it's a pretty. I mean, okay, for anybody who doesn't know about like Long Island or Great Neck, watch The Great Gatsby, and that is where Amanda and I lived. Not in that house. Let's not be mistaken. Not even in that area. I lived way on the other side, but that's kind of that neighborhood where like it's a wealthier area. And so my family is very middle class, like both my parents worked like 2 jobs super hard, so I never was in like the labels, or I remember freshman year everybody had the Prada backpack, and I
Yeah.
was like,
Oh yeah, that black little one.
I hate that thing. I'm not gonna. I think I hate it now. I wanted one so bad back in the day, Amanda, and now I'm like, can't stand your
It
little
brings
shit.
back memories. I know. I can even smell my Prada backpack. I swear.
It like brings up PTSD. I'm like, I don't want to go back to high school. Don't talk about the Prada backpack.
But I mean, what? So were you always that way? I mean, like, did you always have your own style as well?
Yeah, I always had my own style. I remember growing up, my mom would take me twice a year, um, definitely, most certainly, to Roosevelt Field. And
Uh,
that is where I would do my back to school shopping. And I thought I was super cool because I shopped at New York and Company, because
mhm.
I always thought like, you know, New York chic was like my style. So everything was like black on black in high school. It still is. Not much has changed, honest to God. I'm a creature of habit. But my mom would take me, and I remember it was always New York and Company, and
Charlotte Russe.
yep, and Bakers for my shoes, and all of the haunts.
Did you like, honestly, I used to like going to like Hot Topics and stuff like that, but like I was not like edgy like that. But I liked going.
I liked going in to be like, I can hang in here. I never bought anything, but pop that and Spencer's. I would go in and like,
Oh
yeah,
yes, Spencer's. Well, how
Spencer's.
did you feel like when you got the hairspray role? Like the fashion was crazy in that movie. Did you have your own opinion on what you were wearing? What was that like?
So that was insane. I mean, we had so on Hairspray, they had when you would walk into our rehearsal studios, the front of it was solely dedicated to the costume department. like massive space, and they would just sit there all day and like draw patterns and draw up designs, and they custom made our shoes. I mean,
Really?
everything was custom made for us on that movie. So, and you know, it was so true to the time period. Everything down to my undergarments were true to the time period.
Really?
I wore like this, I wore like this corset that every day my wardrobe guy Andy would put me in. He'd be like, all right, here we go, and I put my arms in like a, you know, and he'd just pull it, and there was about like down the back of this corset was about like 30 hook and eyes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it had the
Every day?
bones and everything every day.
Wow. Oh
So
my God. We're just like sleeping it. Be like, just go.
but it was so fun though. It was a blast, and to see all those different looks come to life in all the different scenes, that
It's
was
so
really cool.
bright and beautiful. It's just, that's what you think of when you think of the Hairspray wardrobe and the big dresses, and it's just gorgeous. Did you get to keep anything?
So, I was a klepto with a couple things. I was like, well, I don't really care if you tell me I can have it or not. I'm taking it. I took Tracy's watch. I took a couple of pairs of her shoes. I was like, whoops. But I'm glad I did, because all of our wigs and stuff got stolen apparently. So
Are you joking?
yeah. So I mean, nobody knows where they are. So I'm just glad that I have little pieces of things from the movie. But
Oh
yeah,
wow. We
I
gotta
do.
figure that one out.
I'm sure they're out there somewhere, but I do know this was crazy. I found out that my white go-go boots from You Can't Stop the Beat are
Mm-hmm.
are in the
Museum?
Smithsonian. Yeah,
Thank you. I was gonna say it really should be.
they're in the Smithsonian, and apparently somebody told me they're in between Judy Garland's red slippers and Archie Bunker's reclining chair.
You're
I
joking?
swear to God.
Wow. That is like huge, Nikki. That's a huge honor. Have you
I'm
ever
not kidding. I
done that?
went to a doctor's office on Long Island, and the nurse was like, wait a second, I was just at the Smithsonian. Look. And I'm like,
No, you have to go.
I have to. I got to go now. I
I
really
know,
have.
but it's pandemic,
I know. What have you been doing during the pandemic to stay busy?
So me and my boyfriend actually moved, so we've just been decorating and decorating, and because it's
Oh,
the holidays too, it's been really fun. But it's just never ending. You always feel like you need something new, and we're always like saying what we need before we go to bed, and it's just like never enough. So, but it's been really exciting, and really just, if anything, through this pandemic, I've learned patience, and I think I'm doing well. And it's, I've just been really taking time for myself as well, and also focusing on projects that I like and want to do, and just really spending time with my boyfriend and my dog. It's been
oh.
priority. We haven't gotten sick of each other, so amen.
Well, that's a big thing. I mean,
Huge.
that's huge. So I would take a win. Like, that's a win right there.
I'm so grateful that he still loves me.
Well, see, I mean, I know a lot of couples. I'm not part of a couple. I'm running solo over here. But people who are part of couples, they've been like, yeah, it's been a really interesting time, like being home with my partner all day long. So
Well, we
I
both work
props
and
to
stuff,
all
but
of
like,
you.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's, if anything, like if you can get through this, you can get through anything.
Well, yeah, my parents, I was just talking to them earlier, and they've been married 32 years.
Ugh.
And I was just like, honestly, you guys give me so much hope.
Well, I mean, you've had a huge step in your life. Congratulations, like coming out and being authentically you. How has that been for you? Like, are there people that knew, and or people surprised?
I think it's been like a mixed bag. So like certain people are like, oh my God, I had no idea. Like what? Holy moly. And then other people were like, oh no, like we totally, yeah, we knew that she had like partners in the past or whatever. But yeah, it was just something that like I never really spoke about like publicly, because I always wanted to be known for like my work and my acting and stuff. But then I realized like my personality is a huge part of what I do, and who I am as a person is a massive part of what I do. So I was like, I just need to let it all out and be authentically me and just share it with the world, because I felt like I had been telling my fans for so long, be who you are, love who you are, be proud of who you are. And it's not that I wasn't, it was just, I never really just talked about it. I never let it out. So I had been doing a lot of time, like us all, we've all been self-reflecting and, had a lot of time to think during the quarantine. And I started writing a book. And as I was writing the book, I found out, just more and more about myself. All these different layers started unraveling. And I found myself at a point where I was just ready to come out. And I remember, I remember just going to my team and being like, hey, it's time. And then we were trying to figure out how to do it. And then being, typical me, I did it off the cuff and on the fly. And
wait. But that's so you, and like that you want, that's your moment. So.
Well, yeah. So it's been a journey, but thank you so much for that. It's been a big Band-Aid to rip off, but it's nice to have it off.
I bet. And what has it been like dating during this pandemic and just getting to know people? I mean, it's hard to even keep in touch with the people I do know.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like, dating for me is always weird. Dating while turned lad, dating, it's like always so strange.
Like, are you gonna like have wine with someone like this? Like, what are you eating?
I mean, I haven't had any Zoom dates. I have not got into the Zoom dating. I'm out in LA shooting a movie, and I took myself off of every dating app. I'm like, no, I'm just gonna focus on this movie right now. And if anybody comes my way in the future, that's great. But of course, I feel like now it's time to focus on the movie. But it's always in the back of my mind. Is somebody really great out there? And I'm sure that they are. So we'll see.
Well, I always would say, to my friends, because it's happened to me, you meet someone when you're really not looking, and that always happens that way. And it usually happens where you meet someone where they fit into your life. So now that you're so busy with the movie, you might meet someone that's on set or someone that has to do with it. You never know. And so you don't need it right now. Maybe that's also why I removed it. Like, I'm out and about, it's going to happen for me.
I think
you're in a new place, you're in a new state. Like, it's totally like, and it's a new adventure for you.
It's a totally new adventure. I think it's also a new state within myself too. I'm at a new point in my life where I'm like, all right, I'm in my early 30s, and it's like, I've made a commitment to myself that I'm only going to be in relationships that benefit me. In my past relationships, I've been such a people pleaser, and I just want to do everything for the other person. And my certain needs of mine have gotten overlooked, and not because they were trying to, just because I just made it more about the other person. So I think now going into a relationship, I think I have a healthier outlook. I'm more certain of who Nikki is. And I think once you become more confident and comfortable in yourself, it's way easier to be in a relationship.
Yeah, it's completely, because they have to love you for you. And this is also a good time for people to just, it's like, listen, take it or leave it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's my first sweatpants, like, just take it or leave it.
It's true. It's the same, it goes back to that corny saying, because I always feel like I never quite know, I'm like, are people dating me for, hairspray or whatever? But then it goes back to that saying, like, if you can't take me at my worst, when my hair's in a wet bun and I look like I have, I have my cold cream all over my face. Like, if you can't take me at that, then you don't get me, here or now or in a movie set. So it's just about, being open to new experiences. And I am, but I think for me right now, I'm solely focused on work. But we'll see. You never know. Stranger things have happened.
But I'm done. Really, that's what it's all about. If everyone is doing that during this. Everyone's being like selfish, and it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay to get in touch with yourself and be like, no, this is what I want. This is what I see in a relationship for myself. And yeah, I think that only leads to healthy behavior and, non-toxic relationships.
Mm-hmm. Well, congratulations on the movie, because, the entertainment industry kind of paused for a while and it was scary. So it's like, it's great that, things are up and running again. It was almost like how are we going to do this now? And so we kind of figured out a way.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, it's a totally different experience now, with COVID. Like, normally sets are very like huggy places. Everybody's so happy to see each other. Now we're all like, hey.
Yeah.
But it's good. Everybody's taking all the necessary precautions, and it's great because we all want to make a movie, but we all want to stay healthy. So that's the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
But you've been busy. You are an incredible radio DJ. I've heard your voice on the waves. So what are you doing with that? What's going on with that? Have you been doing that during COVID?
So it's been really great because I'm able to interview people that like Paris Hilton I just had on, who's in California, and you're able to get people that you normally wouldn't. So that's been really wonderful. And that was a really great interview that I did with her because she had her documentary come out and then her new single came out. And so she's been more real than ever. And she's been doing so much with getting rid of these boarding schools that are known for child abuse. And, I never knew that even happened to her. So it was so shocking. And she's been doing really amazing things. So I was happy to support her. And she's really wonderful. Like people don't realize how smart she really is. Paris Hilton is smart and knows what she is doing, let me tell you. And she has her whole life. She really has. So
I met her one time at the MTV Movie Awards, and she was so incredibly sweet. So I'm happy to hear she's got some good stuff coming out, and she's doing good work.
Isn't it so nice when you meet someone that's actually really nice and you're hoping they were going to be that way? I haven't interviewed anyone that has been mean or I haven't been shocked by anyone that I've interviewed. And thankfully, no one's been mean to me yet, but I haven't had any bad experiences with celebrities because that would be a bummer when you're like obsessed with them and then you meet them and they're horrible. I haven't had that.
Yeah, no, I know. They always say don't meet your idols, whatever. But the thing is, no, but I met my idol. I met Ricky Lake has always been one of my greatest idols.
Wow.
And I met her, and now she's like one of my dear friends. And I'm just like, whoever said don't meet your idols never met Ricky Lake because she's just one of the greatest people ever. So, who was one of your idols growing up? Who's somebody you looked up to?
Honestly, I've always had like a Lady Gaga infatuation. I loved her before she was even famous. I remember my best friend said that we look so similar and he's like, you'll love her music. And then I remember I was being Facebook friends with her. She was like Stephanie Germanata, but I grew up just loving Lady Gaga because I always just thought she was so different and she really, got ahead being different. And now she's a huge star, but she's always been my girl.
I remember seeing her on an episode of The Hills back in the day. Do you know this? Okay, so back in the day on an episode of The Hills, if anybody, goes back, LC dressed Lady Gaga for an event in LA and they showed it on camera. Yeah, it's wild. I have to find up the clip and send it to you. But yeah, it was really, really, so that was my first introduction to her. And it was before she really hit it big. And it's just so nice to see a fellow New York girl just out there doing the damn thing.
She was always at the piano bar. I believe that's what it was called. Downtown in New York City. She's always in the Lower East Side, at the Bitter End. That's another place.
And I love the Bitter End.
Yeah, and it's just crazy. I think she even went back there for a performance during her Joanne World Tour, which was nice.
She did it I think on top of the bar. She came out. That was wild.
I remember those days, and it's wild.
There's nothing, I'll say this as a performer, we could go around the world and back, but when you get back to New York and you perform in New York, something is totally different. I remember when I did the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, we had toured the world, it was exciting, but being in New York City, I don't know, there's something, it lights my heart up. It just makes me feel like I can do anything.
Yeah, it's true. And, now that you're in California, obviously I've always thought about, going there. I talked about it with my boyfriend. But you know, it's the same thing. Like you're gonna have such wonderful memories there too that you can't really get in New York, and you have the best of both worlds.
Yes, well, we got to get you out here because I feel like you could up my fashion game so much.
Oh my God. Honestly, like I'll sell you from here, but I would love to come on. I think I would really love California. I said to my boyfriend, Steven, I said, I don't know. I feel like they're so fake and like I wouldn't fit in, but you know, there are fake people everywhere. So
You know what? It's a totally different vibe. It's a totally. I called my friend the other day. I was online at CVS out here, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" I was like, "Dude, the amount of time that it took them to like ring up two people." I was like, "I could have done Good Morning Baltimore, Welcome to the '60s." I was like the full dance routine and everything. I'm like, holy! I'm like, I'm such a New Yorker. It's like inside of us where we're just like, all right. We just like to keep
rush.
going.
I
Yeah.
know it really is, but I would have it no other way, and that's what got you where you are too. And you know, you have to always have that little fire in you, but it's good to like slow down a little bit.
It is. It's nice to be out here and be in a different pace and experience different things and, just take it day by day and go on this little journey that I'm on.
Do you
But
have your like group of friends from New York there, or?
I do. So I have one of my best friends actually from Hairspray. He and I did Hairspray together. And then he moved out here. He's originally from the Bronx. Actually, he's my ex-boyfriend. Uh, so we'll just put it out there. But now he's one of my best friends because clearly, I'm gay. And so I just saw him the other night and we were hanging out. So it's always nice when I come out here, I get to see him. And I have a couple of other really, really, really great, solid friends that I always surround myself with. So for me, it's always about, finding those people wherever you go. There are good people out there. You just have to, look for them and they'll show themselves. I've been coming to this town for 14 years and I feel like I finally have found my group of people and it's nice.
Oh, good. That's so nice.
Yeah.
There's hope.
There's always hope. And speaking of hope, what's on the horizon for you? What's going on next?
It's on the horizon for me. Really, it's just I want to get more into TV hosting. And there's something that I'm working on with. It was actually the first job that I got as a correspondent. I worked for the Manhattan Neighborhood Network, and it was a show called What's Happening in New York. And they want to do another segment, so I'm gonna be working with them, and I'm excited about that. But you know, it's hard because being a field reporter and like being out and interviewing people like that, there are things that have changed in this world. So, you know, just going about it in a different way, but we're putting all those pieces together. But, you know, TV is also a goal of mine that I would love to do and be back on TV.
Oh, I can see that happening. I recently, a year ago, it was a year ago, I ran into Andy Cohen.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was just like, I was like, I watch your network way too much. And he was just so sweet. So I'm a big fan of the Bravo family. And I could totally see you having your own show or hosting a show. I remember watching you on Long Island Princesses and loving your energy. And then, of course, then finding out that you're a great net girl like myself, I was like, of course I love her. Of course I love her.
We got to stick together. Same here. Like when I heard I was going to be on your podcast, I couldn't wait to tell you. I was like, when I was a little girl, no, I paid for you at Cold Stone. It's just crazy, and I wish you all the best. And I'm so happy for you. And you have a friend in me. If you ever need anything, I got your back.
That's so sweet. I feel the same way about you. We have to stick together. I have to ask you a question because I never ask anybody this.
Sure.
What was your favorite at Cold Stone?
Oh, I'm like a real plain Jane. To be honest, I like cookie dough. It's like I'm not like wild, or I would just get like where I get like vanilla with like M&Ms or like peanut M&Ms. Or sprinkles. I'm not like a huge. I'm just a plain Jane. What would you get?
So, I made a lot of concoctions there.
You have your own ice cream?
I came up with the Tracy Turnblad twist. I did. They asked me, they were like, can you create a signature Tracy ice cream? I was like, sure. So it was like of course I wanted to make it like as colorful and as bright as possible.
Yeah.
So it was like cotton candy ice cream with sprinkles and gummy bears and like, yeah, pound cake.
Right.
Like,
Really?
yeah,
Everything, like a monster of everything.
a sugar bomb. So basically enough that if you ate it, you could go do the entire musical front to back.
And then fall on my ass.
Exactly.
Oh my God, I would love to learn a dance move from you. Maybe we can do like a virtual dance session next time.
Oh my gosh. Well, one of the easiest ones, I'll teach you right now, one of the easiest ones.
Oh my God.
From the detention scenes. I remember I used to love it. It's just putting your hand down. Yep. And then the other one. Yeah. Yeah, you got it. Go Bertoncini. Go Bertoncini.
Yay.
I love it.
You don't want to hear me sing though, please. I'll just lip sync.
Oh my gosh. Well, I can't thank you enough. And
You're awesome. You're so much fun. Seriously. I love this.
Thank you. And so are you. And please do me a favor. Please have a piece of Gino's pizza for me.
Oh my God, I will. I'll send you a picture, by the way. I will. We gotta go to Gino's.
I know you're like telling your boyfriend, you're like, hey, we're getting Gino's tonight, just FYI.
Gino's salad. I mean, I'm sorry, but like,
I mean,
what is that dressing?
I don't know, but it's all I need.
They always hide it. They'll never tell you. It's always in that glass thing. It's insane.
It's so good. When I tell you, I remember the phone number. That's how.
516-466.
487-1122. Hey, I still got it. Well, I adore you.
That made my night.
Oh my God. You can tell, obsession at its finest.
The best night.
Well, happy holidays to you and yours. And just
happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas.
You made my week because I've been missing home so much. So thank you.
You're so welcome. I'll send you things over, but send me some sunshine. We need it.
I will get on it. I promise.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Oh my gosh, it was so nice to chat with her because I loved her on the Long Island Princesses, but I also just love her spirit and I love, her passion for fashion like we were talking about, but just she gives so much of her heart in everything that she does. And I can't wait to see what she does in the future and all of her projects. And I also personally, selfishly can't wait for her to style me because her style is amazing. And I can always use a little style help. Let's be real. So I just want to wish you guys a very great day, a wonderful week. Tell you that I love you because I appreciate you all tuning in and listening to me and my guests chat about our fun little life journeys and experiences. So happy holidays to you all. Blessed, happy, and healthy. And just know that I'm always sending you all so much love. And I'm always singing a little hairspray, and there's always love in my heart for all of you. So happy holidays and a very blessed and happy and healthy new year to you all. Mwah. We love you over here, Nikki Nights. Bye.